Well, let me see. This is February the 22nd. And a lot of shit's getting ready to hit the fan, people. First of all, I received a link to a really neat video. Or not, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't a video, it was information from Sweet 6 B9. And it took me to www.usgov-torture.com. There's a couple. Their names are Deborah Lamb and John Mecca, citizens of New York. They decided to check into this new amendment they were placing on their Constitution, an amendment to the New York Constitution. The only problem was that it went totally against their state constitution and made it pretty much null and void as far as civil rights. It would, the title of the article is New York Torture Laws to Take Effect in All States. So anyway, what it would have done, it would have taken away, it would have allowed them to do illegal search and seizure, physical and mental torture. There would have been no Miranda rights. No legal representation during questioning. It would have taken just about everything. Anyway, their names were, oh yeah, it would have, the whole thing would have allowed, I think it said it would be handled by the health department, authorized by the health department, and that doesn't make sense. But anyway, okay, so this couple, Deborah Lamb and John Mecca, looked through this amendment, which I read it too, and boy, it sure is long, wordy, but I had to see what this was about. So they read the whole thing, the amendment, what, you know, the proposed amendment, or I guess it was amended, and they were kind of backstroking it, you know. So anyway, they read through the whole thing and they compared it to the New York Constitution, and they saw that it took away their rights. So they contacted their senator and another representative. There were a couple of people they sent this letter to. You can check it out for yourself if you want. But if anyway, they wrote up a report. They did it all legal, by the book. Did this report comparing the two. Signed their names, and actually got it reversed. They got the new amendment tossed out, and all it took was a little bit of work, a little bit of attention. Alright, now, that whole deal was all dependent upon martial law and state of emergency. Now, the next part of this was on Alex Jones's InfoWars, the show today. He had a call-in guest, Reverend Lindsay Williams. Lindsay, I think it's Williams. Anyway, this guy, he said that back in the 60s, Henry Kissinger made a deal with China. Kissinger made a deal with China, and the whole deal was that China would buy up our debt, or buy up T-bills, I think he called it, buy up our debt, and to help us get out of the deficit. We had a deficit back then too. And in return, we stopped using our oil wells. We capped them, and we start importing it. Now there you go. It was all a part of a deal. Now, what this guy is saying is he believes is going to happen, and he's done some pretty good predictions. He believes China is going to get pissed off at the United States, and when that happens, they're going to pull out all their support clause. All these years, they've been supporting us. They've been bailing us out and keeping our economy propped up, keeping our dollar propped up with their money. Okay, I'm gonna stop complaining about China taking our water, but I still don't like the idea of them sending lead-based painted toys over here. Anyway, okay, they're propping up our economy. They're keeping the dollar at least where afloat it has been all these years, all because of this deal. Now, what happens when they get pissed at us and pull our money out? That's when our dollars are really going to crash. That's when it's going to crash. Now, that will cause chaos. Now, going back to the bill that almost got put into law or into the Constitution in New York and eventually end up in everywhere else. Anyway, all that upheaval in the streets, chaos, that would have set it off. And that's just around the corner. But that would have set it off. That's when people, they could have just grabbed anyone off the street or come in your house. And like I said, illegal search and seizure. They were taking away New York's Constitution. Thank God these two people had the brains and the willpower to check it out, compare it. Anyway. So, okay, well, I'm going to let you go now. That's all for now. Peace.